Hey everyone, before I get started, I just want to remind you that if you like my content, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and then join the Militiaman and Crew Patreon community by clicking the link in the caption.
Hey, good afternoon everybody. Saturday the 21st, Militiaman and Crew here. Welcome to our Saturday afternoon event. It's pretty quick and easy today. There's been some good talk about a couple of key people. It is the Finance Minister Taif Sami, and Al-Alaq, the central bank governor. But just an FYI, since today is Saturday and a lot of you guys have a little bit more time because you have long, busy weeks, the video I did, my last one preceding this, if you haven't seen the whole thing, towards about the last 10 to 15 minutes, I think you guys will be wise to actually catch that part. Because in that part, kind of will lead you to where we are today, and also reinforce just how good things have been progressing. Remember, this didn't just get started in 2003. It's been an ongoing process, but since the Ministerial Council of Economics got involved, which was in November of last year, the dynamics have completely changed. And it isn't just the blah, 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 same old story. So those that aren't up to date and think that way really should know their investment and get involved, because the time is coming to where that change is about to happen. And that's my view on it. So this particular article today it says, what is the importance of the electronic platform in the Iraqi central bank's transactions? And a specialist is talking, okay? It says Saturday, October 21st, which is today, banking affairs specialist Hammam al-Shama revealed the importance of the electronic payment in the central bank's transactions to sell the dollar. Basically, he's stating that there's a great importance in using the electronic platform in the central bank's dealings with the sale of the dollar, and basically that this platform prevented many illegal sales of the dollar that were happening previously. So it sounds like they've got that knuckled down, and this platform will curb the illegal market, which is the parallel market. So it goes on to say a lot of currency smuggling operations abroad have been squelched, if you will. Okay, it goes on and says that Iraq cannot stop working on the electronic platform because it was imposed on it by the U.S. Federal Reserve, and we know that. We talked about in the previous videos that there's some control going on with the United States Treasury, U.S. Federal Reserve, if you will. And anyway, this imposition comes in order to prevent any incorrect external transfers. When they say this external transfers, you're going to see this today, that they're talking about it quite frequently. Basically, the goal is to transfer the dollar to Iraq through those transfers in a legitimate manner. They go on to say, after working with this platform, many of these operations were stopped. And for the reason, some people began to rely on the black market transfers through companies to extract dollars, and basically that's basically ceased to exist. So what they're going to do is the central bank is still going to finance imports of goods and services, but they'll be able to get, all citizens should be able to still do travel, treatment, and study, and they'll be able to do that through this electronic platform. So that's a big thing. It says that the electronic platform for this cash sale of currency, which is the FITR, must be approved as of Monday, February 20th, 2023. So it's been in effect since February 2023. So it's been a process, and you look back and you go, wow, okay. Good thing that we know that, and a good thing that it's probably taken care of. And then here again, Al-Alaq, the central bank governor, this article says Al-Alaq stresses the importance of achieving stability in the dollar price and the necessity of changes in the trade system. So the governor of the central bank, he stressed today that achieving stability in the price of the dollar and the necessity of making changes in the trade system. So obviously they've made changes. I can't imagine they're going to just make changes and have to work these changes out until next year or any length of time, because again, this article just passed. They've been working on this since February, and it is now late October, late October. It says the transition from the cash economy to the digital economy and the accompanying measures achieved a qualitative shift between the Iraqi government and the central bank. So if you read that, you can see that they're talking about measures achieved. So they achieved a qualitative shift. So that means that they've already done it. They've already got that stuff in order. So you got to be careful on how you read things, just like I do. So I could be right, I could be wrong, but the bottom line is the implication is by that statement coming from the central bank governor is that the implementation of this roadmap that he's working on for banking and financial reforms, which is basically the first step, what he characterized is that it's under international standards and keeps pace with global developments in the field of the digital economy and money. All right, so that's really a big article, so I suggest you guys take a peek at that. He goes on and says that strengthening international relations, including establishing a network of relations with foreign banks, increasing the role of the central bank to create a pioneering bank, and redirecting work on initiatives for small and medium enterprises. All really successful economies. They base themselves off the small and medium enterprises, so that's a very positive situation. The president of the Union of Arab Banks and deputy governor of the Central Bank of Iraq, Central Bank of Egypt even, Mohammed Al-Atredi, I guess, stressed in a speech during the same conference, which is ongoing, the role of the Central Bank of Iraq and Arab banks in strengthening the role of local and international banks in increasing confidence in the volume of financial transactions between them, right? So they go on and point out that the volume of economic challenges and high inflation in the world have greatly affected global investments in various sectors. So there's big concern. I think there's added pressure on Iraq's central bank to finish the process of the reforms, because there's things that are affecting global investments, okay? It says here that the National Investment Commission, Haider Makia, also called for a, quote, a greater role in financing projects, especially residential ones, to achieve balance between the investor and the banks. And we all know that Iraq is spoken about building upwards of 3 million housing units. So you can see that there's obviously some concern that they need to get things on the run. It says that the Prime Minister of the Kurdistan Regional Government, Mansour Barzani, he pledged during the conference to basically transform financial transactions in the region to electronic ones, and within a period of 2 years. I'm fairly certain that there's been electronic transfers or getting that ready for some time. My account is one of the things that he's been working on as a pilot, so we know that this isn't just getting started. He says we decided to support banks' expansion plans by opening bank accounts for workers in the private sector. What we're seeing in some of the charts that are out there, that the banking system for the last 10 years has just been getting better and better and better and better and better and better until 2023. And the numbers show that the expansion that the amount of accounts and bringing in the hoarded money into accounts is in 2023 is huge. So adding in the private sector, you're going to have even more. So look forward to that. It says that being that it's similar to the public sector, where services will be provided to hundreds of thousands, in addition to encouraging banks to increase their branches throughout the entire Kurdistan region. So they're looking at growth, a lot of growth, and I think that people should take that seriously, especially if you're in the future and you're starting to think about if you're ever going to invest in Iraq, and all the news that's coming out about their growth. You might start thinking about that and seeking professional advice about it, okay? The regional government will provide all support to private banks to increase their services, or their goal is to create healthy competition between banks where the citizens can choose what she wants, right? So they're basically getting full cooperation from the federal government, and the whole idea is to combat money laundering laundering and stabilizing the Iraqi currency. And he's basically expressing his happiness for the results that they've attained at this stage of the game. And then here again, Al-Alaq, the central bank sells $200 million daily to maintain the stability of the exchange rate. The basis of this is, I'm just going to get to the point. He says, Al-Alaq states that every day we open new channels for external financial transfers to provide more facilities in this field. So we're going to still see, again, I brought it up earlier that you're going to talk about external financial transfers, and external financial transfers to me is cross-border payments. And cross-border payments, to be in an international currency, you're going to have to make some moves, Iraq, for that to happen. So here again, Al-Alaq in the news, this particular article is saying Al-Alaq stabilizing the exchange rate is a major process that requires changes to the commercial system and external transfer in Iraq. Okay, Central Bank of Governor has considered today, which is Saturday, the process of stabilizing the exchange rate of the dinar against the dollar as a major process that requires changes to the Iraqi commercial system and financial transfer, keywords, outside the country. So there has to be some major changes. If they're going to go from 1310 to something different, likely to get into the international world with a fair, real effective exchange rate, there's going to be a major change to the commercial system. So keep that in mind. The banking sector is, quote, there are opportunities for advancement in the future of international companies. So advancement of future international companies. So you can see this, that it's talking about going international. At least that's what it says to me. It goes on to say that the banking sector, with their advancement for future international companies, it says, quote, the rules stipulated in anti-money laundering, terrorist financing law number 39 of 2018 must be consolidated, and international practices and standards must be applied in a way that preserves the integrity of the financial system from local and international risks and procedures, and in a way that ensures the transparency and integrity of financial operations. So basically they're just saying that, hey, you guys get in compliance with international practices and standards, because that's where we're headed, and their focus is on transparency, integrity of financial operations. Iraq's had a pretty bad track record since 2003, but obviously they've come a long way, and this is where we're at. Going international requires specific things, and I'm fairly certain Al-Alaq knows all about that. Seriously. It goes on, he says, we emphasize once again that these rules are what preserve the integrity of the financial system and even protect Iraq from serious risks. And what is related to this matter is the relationship between the application of these rules and standards and the process of external transfer and the sale of the dollar in various forms. So it's either the personal, the physical, and or the digital. Al-Alaq goes on and adds that there's a close relationship between establishing these standards and the smooth flow of transfer operations and maintaining the stability of the exchange rate. To the extent of this commitment, we can determine monetary stability and exchange rate stability, which is a major process that requires making many changes and reorganizing the commercial system in Iraq. So pretty powerful stuff. Obviously, he's talking about changing the commercial system. So something has to change. And what we think that is, well, at least I do, a main component, which is, I hope, their exchange rate. And the external transfer system and what is related to that, noting that the central bank is going through the process in daily detail until it leads to the right and correct path. And every day it opens a new channel to facilitate and accelerate this process. So basically it's speeding up. It's a phenomenal situation. I will move on to the next thing. It says the government parliamentary meeting to discuss the inclusion of the Iraqi Fund for Development in the 2023 budget. Here it says the strategic planning in the Federal Parliamentary Service Committee discussed with the Ministry of Finance the inclusion of the Iraq Fund for Development in the 2023 budget. Remember a while back we talked about that the United States U.S. Federal Reserve had a little stranglehold on the 2023, 24, 25 budget? Well, there was things that needed to be done. That's why I asked if you guys hadn't seen that video that I just recently did. I believe there's a portion in that last 10 to 15 minutes we can talk about that. And if you missed it prior to that, those last two before today, those are subsequent information that is getting to all this stuff so you can see the progress. It's one of the things I really emphasize in my room. I go back and have consistently done this for 7 8 years. I go back in time a little bit and you can see that what progress has been made. Of course, we all want it to happen today. We all want to know what the exchange rate may be. We all want to know what specific date so we can prepare. However, all we can do is just keep going by what they're telling us. So in this particular article, it says that the Parliament's Media Department comes out, the Strategic Planning and Federal Service Committee that's headed by the Representative Leila Tamimi, chairman of the committee, and in the presence of members, they all hosted the Minister of Finance, Taif Sami, and the senior staff in the ministry today. So, hey, this hosting began with a discussion about the unified treasury system, and we knew that there was some problems. That was part of that system, that the U.S. Treasury had a problem with what? Their intervention into the banking system, which was the electronic platform, selling the currency of the dollar. Got to cease that. Taif Sami had some issues. There was something to deal with. And one of those things they were dealing with was the unified treasury system. The repercussions of the system's connection to the World Bank, the obstacles to implementing this system, contracting with the financial management expert to implement and design the unified treasury account, implementing the RTGS-C, which is the real-time gross settlement system, which is for the unified treasury account as a first stage, and organizing the accounts of both the salaries and operational expenses at the central bank. So they had some issues. They needed to take care of that. They had to deal with that with the Kurdistan region. I'm assuming with all this talk that we've had about Al-Alaq and that Taif Sami, realized both of those when I mentioned early on that the Ministerial Council of Economics include both these people. All the progress we've seen since November up to today is because of these people. Unbelievable stuff. Implementing the IFMS system by working with the consulting company to update the outputs provided by the Ministry of Finance departments for the purpose of preparing to request offers from international companies to equip the system, and adopting a governing vision in restricting external borrowing for investment and service projects, and the responsibility of repaying the loan from the revenues of the borrowed project for its own account without any charge. Hard to read, but bottom line is it looks like is that this Iraq Development Fund is going to be for the development road project, if you will, for infrastructure, and a lot of that money will be the revenues that come in. If they borrow from it, they'll be able to, I guess, pay it back. It says here that the attendees discussed the inclusion of the Iraqi Development Fund in the draft budget law for 2023. Again, one of those key issues of the United States Treasury, our Federal Reserve, I should say. The issuance of internal regulations by the Prime Minister's office, that's al-Sudani, reform of the tax and customs system, control of border crossings, maximization of non-oil revenues through the automation of custom procedures and application of the ESCO system and the PO system. Interestingly enough, it's all based off the amended income tax law. Well, in addition to those things, studying the draft of the Second Amendment to the amended income tax law number 113 from 1982, they go on to say they've been working on a comprehensive electronic tax system project, structuring specific sections, drawing plans for stages of accounting, recollecting tax deposits from the currency sale auction. Maybe they weren't getting that money from that sale auction, So we always said that those auctions are going to change as we know them. There you go. That might be one of the things that they're talking about. And then issuing a decision on rehabilitating the free zones, I'm assuming for the industrial in there, in Al Zubair, Mosul, and Al Qaim. I guess that's how it's said. Anyway, there's the ESCO system. My understanding is a international reporting system for financial reporting. So since they're going to go international, they have a reporting system, and then they also have the postal system, the postal code system, so they can get all their information sent to the proper places in the country. So they've done a lot of work, and at this stage of the game, this is what they've given us to chew over. And I think today on a Saturday, with these key players talking as loudly as they are about some high-tech stuff, I think it's really a positive situation. Basically, the fact that Alok is talking about the application for external transfers, in my view, it's very telling. He said it was a major process. It requires changes to the commercial system, financial transfers outside the country. Those things need to be taken care of. I think they need an exchange rate to do financial transfers out of the country, and that's what we're hoping for. Cross-border payments, that's what it means. If you're going to go outside the country, that's cross-border payments. We know about all the systems. They've talked about the digital transformation. They've talked about the ICE-CUTA systems. All of this has been a work in progress, and I'll be fair, if you can't see it and how it's playing out, you better start studying, because it's coming upon us. I think it's phenomenal. And he goes on and says, each day opens a new channel to facilitate and accelerate the process. Amazing. He's telling it they've got stuff in order, and they're moving quickly. And then today, I believe, well, it's in September, but there is some verbiage that is in a, a circular or a September brochure that the WTO puts out. I suggest you Google it and look for September and see how it reflects that they believe that Iraq will have a full accession, in the way I read it, to the WTO sometime in this quarter that we're in right now. It doesn't say what day or anything like that, but the obviously is the belief is that they need an international compliant Article 8 currency exchange rate to do so. And so that's what I got for you guys today. I appreciate you being here on Saturday, and I think it's phenomenal information. So enjoy your day. And for all you new folks, if you haven't seen some of my videos, I would suggest that at least the last one, focus in. I mean, it's a long 43 minutes. Sorry about that, you guys, but I packed in a lot of work, a lot of education, and it's a lot of the information that we get directly from our news hound Samson and our crew members. So come in and see it, and just, if you like our content, hit the like button, subscribe, and then if you guys would like to keep this content flowing smoothly, easily, we have some donate options. We always appreciate all the work and help you guys take care of us for.
Once again, guys, don't forget to hit that like button if you like this content, subscribe to the channel, or join us at the Militia Man and Crew Patreon community for even more exclusive content. You can also donate to this channel by hitting the links in the banner to help keep this page up and running. Your generous support is greatly appreciated, as always. Much, much appreciated. Thank you so much, and have a great day.